Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and so you've been on sort of the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Oh, this part is so funny. Okay, alright. Both of them are looking at me expectantly, but there's no pressure on their faces. If anything, Selwyn looks almost apologetic that this is being forced onto me at all. Looking out to the shore, I can barely hear the sounds of crashing waves in the distance. It's enough to send a shudder through my spine. However, it isn't the thought of being in the water that's creating a pit in my stomach. I've been avoiding this beach for a long time. Too many memories. But I can't let thoughts like that consume me. How can I expect Oscar to be more open with me if I'm not willing to move a little myself? Yeah, we can go. I think it'll be relaxing. The two of them break into two large grins, and I'm not even given a response as Selwyn continues dragging me towards the ocean. Oscar trots alongside me, watching us with a large smile on his face. The sun is nearly completely sunk beyond the horizon, but there's still enough light to not worry about having to leave for a little while longer. We opted to hang near the left edge of the beach. It's an area I always preferred ever since I was a kid. There are rocks to sit on, and jump off of without too much risk. The water's calm enough that there's never too much threat of impact. I'm watching Selwyn dive beneath the waves and run through the water with little grace. It's a stark contrast to Oscar, who always looks like a world-class dancer without even trying. Speaking of, it's no surprise that I've decided to just sit and watch, but both of us were caught off guard when Oscar said he was going to relax on the rocks too. Even now, he's just sitting next to me watching his friend in the water. He's even leaving a respectable distance between us with only one of his arms he's leaning back onto, coming close to touching my tail. He's wearing an expression that's rare for him. His usual smile and jovialness are gone, replaced with a more sober expression that reminds me of Lee. Lee. I think it's Lee. Keep getting mixed up. I don't know what he's thinking about. Why didn't you go swim? He chuckles at that and tilts his head, giving the impression that he's confused by the twinkle in his eye, but the twinkle in his eye lets me know better by now. He's just trying to distract me from bringing up anything that isn't positive. Didn't want to leave you up here alone. Been a long day. Plus, I think we had enough swimming for the day, don't you think? You? Enough swimming? I don't think you know such a thing. You got that right. I'll admit, watching Selwyn thrash about makes me want to dive in too. Thrash about is a good way to describe the lion at the moment. He's currently waiting for waves so he can run into them, giggling as he's lifted into a large splash. Why don't you? I told you, I'm here to give you some company. You look like you needed it. There's that serious expression again. His free hand risen up to his chest and is playing around with the teardrop necklace, twirling it around his fingertips. His touch is so gentle, it's like he's worried it'll shatter at the tiniest bit of force. Things get really scary in there. Are you sure you're okay, man? You don't gotta hide things from me. A dark chuckle slips between his lips as we both stare at the jewelry. There's no humor in it, just bitter irony. Yeah, I guess that's unfair of me, but are you okay? I'm feeling better. You helped a lot. Told you I'm a walking distraction. I'm very good at what I do. Just ask Selwyn. An innuendo that was so easy that I have to raise an eyebrow, though Oscar looks confused before coming to the realization of what just slipped out of his lips. His hearty laugh diffuses any somberness between us. I haven't slept with him. I try to keep it a rule to not sleep with friends. There's a pause afterward from both of us, and it's clear that was something he didn't want to slip. With exceptions, obviously. That sultry voice of his is back, but there's a hidden, flustered edge to it that brings a smile to my face. It's rare to him to be caught off guard, so I enjoy those little moments when I get them. It's not long till he's laughing, and I'm unable to stop myself from joining in. It's just a surreal moment that's only accentuated by being here. We just sit there for a small moment, enjoying the atmosphere and watching Selwyn float in circles in the calm water by the rocks. He's still a little too far to hear us, but his occasional waves make his presence feel known. This all feels so nostalgic, and that brings with it moments, both happy and sad. I used to come here a lot when I was younger. Our house is only a small walk away. I haven't been here in years, though. Feels weird. Bad memories? I guess. Both good and bad. I guess I just wanted to forget about it all. You like coming here? Of course. It's a beach and I was a kid. Who didn't love going to the beach? Second hill. Water time. Alright. Hey now, I'm a fully grown man and I still love going to the beach. Beaches are hella fun. If this place has memories you want to forget, then let's make some new ones. I'm not given a chance to respond as he reaches over and all but drags me over to him, wrapping himself around me. I didn't even realize how cold I was getting until his warmth completely envelops me. Geez, man, you're freezing. Why didn't you say something? I didn't notice. Ha! The destructive force of being the perfect distraction, how it backfires! When our shuffling is all said and done, he's sitting down properly with his legs crossed. I'm sitting on his lap, much to my burning face's dismay, while he leans over me. It's hard to complain, though. He's like a giant heated blanket. That better? Yeah. A wet slap on the rock next to us causes me to jolt in Oscar's arms, nearly headbutting him in the chin. Thankfully, his reflexes are fast enough to dodge. In the water next to us is Selwyn, trying to get our attention with a massive grin on his face. There's a knowingness to his stare that has my face burning. We weren't even doing anything that bad. Oscar's been surprisingly well behaved today, compared to how he usually is, at least. I'm not sure if it's because he's trying to give me some space after today, or if everything affected him more than he wants to show. I want it to be the former, but I have a hunch it's the latter. Selwyn's pointing towards something behind us, and Oscar makes a grunting noise before reaching back and tossing something white in the line's direction. Once he catches it, I'm able to make out the firm fabric of a towel and watch him quickly wrap himself up in the moment he exits the water. He's practically shivering. It's no wonder. The sun is completely set, the sky is growing darker by the second. It's going to get pretty cold rather fast. It may not get too freezing in Everwinter, but it's enough that being wet will make a chilly freeze feel like the Arctic. Come on, let's get back to your place. Let's get him back to your place. You two are going to freeze. Not that I couldn't just carry the both of you home. To prove his point, he wraps a single arm around my waist as he stands, easily lifting me with him until my feet are unable to reach the ground. He has some mercy on me, thankfully, and places me on the ground shortly after. He still keeps an arm wrapped around my neck, and I'm grateful for every bit of warmth I can get. Selwyn, however, is still in the process of drying his mane. From the looks of how it's going, it's not making much progress. His fur might be shorter than mine, but his mane is so fluffy that it must be awful to dry off. This always takes a bit. Don't worry, we're not in a rush. By the time we make it to the apartment, it's already completely dark and the receptionist is nowhere to be found. It's a good thing I didn't forget my key, or else we would have been locked out. I doubt it would have been too much of a problem since Oscar can just take us to his frat house, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet. I think it'll be a little too rowdy for me. As soon as we got to my floor, Selwyn disappeared into the shower while Oscar kept me company. I was mostly just joking about alongside a little scavenger hunt through my things. Sadly, I don't have anything truly interesting in my room, much to his disappointment. Though that didn't last long as he quickly went to lazing on the bed, which could barely fit someone like him. Soon enough, though, he got a text from Selwyn on his phone and disappeared out of the room after him with my towel. At least Selwyn had his own from swim practice. Now I'm all alone in my room, sitting on the bed. I don't even have anything to do on my phone to distract me. I could message the others, but I feel like that would be rude after I got those two to stay with me for the night. What does catch my eye is a notebook sitting on the nightstand next to the bed. I don't even remember placing it there, but I must have dumped it there when I got home. After tonight, I could do with a break from reading about Helena. I already have that meeting with the football team tomorrow to deal with. I'm not sure I'm in the best headspace to read some more. The sound of the door opening is not only enough to steal my attention away from the book, but after today, it's nearly enough to send the soul out of my body. Standing at the door is Selwyn in just a small white towel and nothing else from what I can see. His clothes clumped together in his hand. He's staring at me with wide eyes filled with concern. Oh, it's just you. I'm sorry. You gave me a bit of a fright. Second now. His ears droop down and he wanders over to sit on the opposite bed. His entire body language is apologetic. Makes me feel awful. Don't feel bad. I was just lost in thought. It was a long day. Did you have a good shower? He gives an enthusiastic nod and we swiftly fall into an awkward silence. Though that feeling might not be mutual in the way he's swaying back and forth with a smile on his face. This is the first time we've ever truly hung out together alone. We had a small moment after Oscar blew up at his coach, but that was barely a few fleeting seconds. Sorry if I'm messing this up. I'm not quite sure. I'm not able to finish my sentence as Selwyn moves over to sit next to me, bouncing against my shoulder in an attempt to cheer me up. He's still wearing nothing but a towel, but his fur is not only dry, but still warm. I'm glad we're in a decent dorm. Even the dryer at my house isn't as good as the one here. It doesn't stop the feeling of his fur brushing against my own, the occasional strand poking through my shirt against my skin. The space between us has been massively reduced. But for some reason, this doesn't make me feel flustered like when Oscar does it. There's something more, platonic when Selwyn does it. Maybe it's his more innocent face. Oscar did say to be wary of that, though he was probably joking. My phone buzzes with a text, when that Selwyn nudges me to check. It becomes obvious why, as opening the message reveals that the sender is the lion himself. I don't even remember giving him my phone number. It might have been Oscar. Don't be so scared. If I ever need to tell you something, I can just tell you here. Despite receiving the message, I'm hardly able to believe that Selwyn sent it. He's been paying almost exclusive attention to me. But then I see in his hand next to his leg a phone with a single thumb lying against the screen. Are you able to send messages without To me without looking? He nods with his big smile, and my phone pings again with another message. This time I'm able to catch his thumb darting back and forth without the lion making any attempt to check that he's writing. I know sign language too. I thought learning it might help, but I end up just freezing up. I still have issues messaging strangers too. But I'm a stranger. You're a friend of Oscar, so you're a friend of mine. Aw, thanks. I can tell you're nice. You're really cute and not in the evil, hidden bully kind of way. Thanks? It felt weird to look at my phone while talking to the person as they sat right next to me, but it didn't take too long to adjust. I'm glad Oscar found more friends. He doesn't have many of those. Now that I don't believe. I don't think I've met someone more sociable than him before. I'm pretty sure he's been to more parties than Lucas, Lee, and I combined. He raises an eyebrow at that and even gives a little snicker, the snarky guy. It's hard not to smile along with him. He's infectious. I said that Oscar is able to control the mood, but Selwyn is like an emotional magnet. He sucks you in. Okay, I don't think we've done too many parties, or any, but still, you must have a lot of friends. But Selwyn just shakes his head, and those signs of that shy, nervous guy I first met at the pool start to seep through his features again. I almost expect him to back off, but he just leans against me further as his thumb furiously taps against the screen. He meets people a lot, and he's got the team, but he doesn't really have any friends besides us. I've never seen him hanging out with anyone else unless it's to go out to a party or to the bar. He doesn't hang out with anyone but us? He just shakes his head. There's no reason for him to lie to me, but it's hard to imagine Oscar as anything other than a social butterfly. He must have been the most popular guy in high school. But I can ask Oscar about that later. I'm feeling a little bad talking about him behind his back like this. Are you friends with any of the other guys on the swim team, or just Oscar? This time he feverishly shakes his head, his eyebrows shooting off the top of his head. For the first time since we started this talk, he took his phone in his both hands to type out his message. No, I'm not a fan of the other guys. They're very rude and they don't understand it when I can't talk to them. No one harasses me, but they avoid me. Oscar's the only one who tried to talk to me. Oh, at least you two had each other. Having a friend is always nice. That provokes a reaction from him. He's back to shaking his head, but this time it feels like he's trying to deny something, even going so far as to wave his hands. He begins to type something before frowning and just turning his phone around. His background is a younger-looking version of himself surrounded by two other boys. Looked to be in high school from their uniform. Second now. It has Selwyn pulling the two other boys, a bat and poison dart frog, into a cheesy hug for the camera. The bat is giving an awkward smile while the frog looks to be trying to escape with a growl. Reminds me a lot of Oscar, Lucas, and myself. I can see why you and Oscar get along. Looks like the two of you are getting pretty close. Should I be jealous, huh? I told you. Selwyn's got that hidden charm. I don't know how he beds people so fast. Shimmying through the door is Oscar, completely dry and partially dressed. While he's not wearing a shirt, he's got his board shirt on. That's more than the lion next to me. Damn, you already out of your clothes too? Should I come back? No, we're just talking. Nothing weird here. Don't worry, man. I'm just kidding. Selwyn's a real good guy. He won't just hit on you if it'll make you uncomfortable. He's not the hit-on-people kind of guy. More like the butter them up until they're making out type. A flush peeks through his thin fur and gives a sheepish smile, but makes no attempt to deny what Oscar's saying. That just makes Oscar's grin widen even further as he drops his clothes onto the desk chair and runs over to yank Selwyn off the bed, much to the smaller male's thrashing. There's a spike of worry that's quickly washed away by their combined laughter. I swear I get to hear that what Selwyn's voice would be like. It's full of energy and only a slightly lower pitch than my own. But then Selwyn's towel slides off his waist and I'm forced to look away. From the sounds of their scuffling, it doesn't sound like either of them has much shame regarding the lion's naked body. Don't be shy, man. It's just us guys together. I'd rather not. All right. Time for you to get some clothes on. Wallace had a rough day, so let's try to keep him comfortable. There's a bit of rustling before Oscar tells me I can finally look, but Selwyn isn't wearing too much either, just a pair of underwear. He isn't drawing any attention to it. I guess he just sleeps in it. So, what did you two cuties talk about? I was just getting to know Selwyn. We haven't really had a chance to talk before, but not by ourselves at least. Hey, I gave you his number. You said you were going to chat to him. Selwyn tugs on Oscar's shoulder to whisper into his ear again. I've noticed he tries to avoid doing this unless he doesn't think he can communicate it with his body. Do you mind if I tell him too? Alright. He said he was going to message you, but he got shy about it. That's really cute, man. But you don't got to be scared of Wallace. He's like the purest dude I've ever met. Thanks? I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. I meant it in a good way. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!